And now with us we have Darko Berkan, founder and director of Zasto Ne in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Hello, welcome.
Thank you for inviting me.
So how are you doing? How is the conference going, the forum?
It's great. I mean, like a lot of interesting people networking. The panels are great. I mean, it's like one of a kind because this is also these are the topics that aren't usually present in this way in this form. So like I'm very happy to be here.
Okay. And when did Zasto Ne started and what it like? Can you explain to the audience, to the people who don't know about Zasto Ne?
Zasto Ne will actually celebrate 25 years of existence next year. We started after the war in Bosnia as a conscientious objection to the military group that kind of promoted alternative service to the army, but then we grew into what we are today, which is basically accountability organization that deals mostly a watchdog plus monitoring plus some other stuff, some advocacy, but mostly a watchdog on accountability of different kinds. So we have accountability of politicians, accountability of the media, accountability of the citizens in general. So we kind of have a couple of things that we do.
So I know that you also focus on new media and social networks, their influence on the mission of EU accession, liberal values, etc. But I asked also a previous guest about how they see the new media, and do they see it as it as challenge or as an opportunity for EU accession?
So I mean, short answer is both. And as much as we like to see the new media back in the days as something that will enhance democracy and positive values and progressive values, we see that it doesn't work. We started off with our accountability work as promoting online the way that the politicians are doing. We started fact checking in 2010 of politicians, then of the media, fighting disinformation, and then came disinformation, then came the problems with the online sphere, the radicalization of the discourse, hate speech and everything. So we realized that actually it is not such a positive progressive space after all, and now we are living the kind of reaping the benefits of that, which are not everything but benefits. But I believe that it is a way forward, if we regulate properly the online space. I mean, at the moment we are still in the Wild West, we're waiting for the OK Corral to happen and to see who wins it, and then after that we will basically have some regulation. We're waiting for the right wiretap to kind of get rid of what's happening there now, and after that I think with the proper regulation, with the improvement of technology, we can, as the European Union, and once we are a part of it, be progressive.
But is there a will to regulate it in that sense? Because there seems to be more of a right-wing movement in Europe, and they don't really want to regulate it, and the new media are in the hands, the AI technology, social networks are in the hands of people whose mission is to make more money.
Yeah, it's that's pretty obvious. I mean, I don't know, we are a part of the Meta third-party fact-checking program, whereas we do have exposure, but it can be a much better program if only Meta didn't want to raise money through what they are working. So it is generally obstacle. On the other hand, there's this false narrative about this being against the freedom of speech. This is just regulated. That would mean that, I don't know, jailing people who did crimes are against freedom of movement. Obviously there are problems online and we have to solve them, and there has to be regulation. It's not about freedom of speech, it is about what we as a society realize that it's wrong, that it's illegal, that content is problematic. We should deal with it in different ways, not damaging basic human rights and things that people need to have online, which we fully agree. For instance, you don't, when there's this informative content, you don't take it out from the internet, you just point to it and say, please read it carefully, there might be some issues with it. So that's why it's not freedom of speech, it's on the contrary, it's actually inciting conversation about questionable topics online.
Do you see, are you optimistic that we can overcome the challenges that the new media brings and the challenges that profit first approach makes it?
Well, I mean, there are several levels. There's the level of decision makers and the policy level. EU has already started with Digital Services Act, Digital Market Act, AI Act. They have already started regulating the field. We'll see how successful it is, whether they need to fine tune it, change it, or whatever. But they have started working on it. On the other level, there's like us as citizens, where we need to be kind of like understand what are the problems and basically be trained ourselves how to receive information and act on digital media and new networks, whatever. And then there's the third level. Third level are the ones that you were also talking about, are the ones basically running the show, big tech companies and everybody there, and they should understand that the society, it's also for their benefits that the society becomes more educated about all of this, and that they can also through different means remain with a large percentage of the profit they have, but at the same time produce a more quality content online and everything, because after all, credible content is something we are lacking, and a majority of people are lacking it, and once they start demanding it, it will also bring benefits to social networks. As long as they are maintaining their business models and algorithms as they are, we cannot do it. So there needs to be a multi-level shift, shift here in order for this to happen.
Thank you very much. Now we're continuing with our forum sessions.